Well, welcome everybody back to this channel. We are going to do a live thing tonight because honestly, I haven't had much of a chance to really work on a video. I really want to do a good video to try to stick to a schedule. And that so here's the thing. All right. I recognize that my channel has not been getting as many views as I think I should. And so it's funny, I asked Chat GPT the other night. I'm like, who's holding my channel back? Like, is there somebody that's like sabotaging my channel? And Chat GPT said you. And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, that hurt. So I'm like, what can I do to make the channel grow? And to try to get these views back and going the way that they should. And it basically said you need to be consistent. And you need, of course, post good content, all that stuff, but consistency, that was one thing that was one of the big issues with my Maniacs channel, is the consistency. And so I decided, okay, well, when I was more consistent before, when it seemed like my channel was really growing, how many times each week was I posting? And it said you were posting basically twice a week, which I do remember that. I remember in the very beginnings of the Washington Football Maniacs, I was posting twice a week. And so I was like, okay, so which nights should I post and in what time? It said Tuesday and Friday nights at 7 o'clock. I'm like, well, that's actually pretty detailed. It didn't really say anything of like, oh, you can post whenever you need to. No, it actually said you need to post at this time, and your channel will get back to the way it was. Now, does Chat GPT really know? I don't know, but I'm desperate. But I felt that it was actually some pretty good advice anyway. And the advice that I'm going to take is at least trying to be a little more consistent. And so that's what I'm going to do. So that's why, folks, I decided to do a live stream tonight because, again, I didn't have time to really work on a video. And I had planned to post a video tonight right at 7 o'clock. And then another video will be released on Friday at 7. And that's just going to be the schedule. Now, of course, I have to go against tonight. I think the Washington Commanders YouTube was going to have some sort of a video or stream or whatever. Of course, they picked Tuesday at 7 o'clock. But it is what it is. Maybe I'll have some folks. I may not get anybody watching this. I don't know. I might just sit here and talk to myself for an hour. I don't know. But anyway, hopefully people will join in. But again, we're talking Washington Commanders, Washington Redskins, whoever you like to call them, that's what we're going to talk about. And so, whether if we have no people in here or if we have 50,000 people in here, it's still going to be the same. So, okay. First of all, I think the first thing that I wanted to talk about is the passing of Rick Snyder. Now, I didn't know Rick personally, but I had spoken to him a little bit online. Seemed like a really nice guy. I loved watching his channel. For one thing, he had a really cool setup as far as like, just give me 2 minutes. It's almost like if you can't give a person 2 minutes, if you can't listen to them for 2 minutes, there's something wrong with you. So just give me 2 minutes. And I thought, wow, you know what? That is such an awesome thing that Rick did. Just give me 2 minutes. And I could sit and listen to him for 2 minutes. Now, I'll be honest with you. Most of y'all can't probably sit and listen to me for more than 2 minutes, and I totally get that. But I just I really appreciated what Rick brought to the Redskins beat. I knew about Rick obviously before he even came out with a YouTube channel. I knew that he was part of the Redskins beat for a long time, and so it was really neat when he started his YouTube channel. You know, he kind of, um, he just kind of um, got in there and he's like, I'm just gonna, do a couple of minutes talking. And I'm like, he's given some valuable information. Obviously, he was able to go to the games, most of the games, if not all of the home games. You know, every now and then he was able to go to practice, go to um, training camp and things like that. So he was really able to report back on some solid information that the rest of us podcasters don't always get that opportunity. And so I really enjoyed what Rick um, brought to the whole Redskins world. And I had planned on having him on the podcast. I had talked about it once before, and just for some reason, for one thing, it was hard for me to be consistent in trying to keep up with my channel. I was going through a lot of health issues, and also, family kind of going through off and on health issues as well. And so, um, whenever I was trying to just keep my channel on life support, it was hard to really also think about reaching out and collaborating with other YouTubers. And but he was definitely one of the ones that I really wanted to collaborate with. And unfortunately, I never got that opportunity, and I just really I regret that because I would have loved to have sat and talked, Washington football with Rick Snyder. I did buy his book when he came out with the revised book, 100 Things Commanders fans should know, should know and do before they die. He also has the Redskins version. I'm not sure if there's a way to get that version. I may still go back and get that version as well. But this is a really cool book. I would suggest anybody, if it's still available, to go out and grab it. Rick put a lot of thoughts and efforts into this book, and yeah, I think every Redskins fan, every Commanders fan, they should have either this book or the original. And it's a great book. It's an easy read. And you don't have to go in order. That's the thing. What I like about this, you could just go through, different chapters and just read on that chapter. And he's got so many great things here. So again, this one is 100 things that Commanders fans should know and do before they die. And so yeah, great book. Revised and updated. So this one, of course, has a little bit more newer stuff in it. And also, he has a book coming out. I have purchased that book too, and let me see if I can. And for some reason, I don't know why, but for some reason, I could not get the sharing to work on this the StreamYard thing. I've used StreamYard in the past, more the pro version to stream. I kind of let that go because they got really expensive. And so I figured, well, until I can really start making good money off of this, it's hard for me to go pro with StreamYard. But so I went back down to the live, or I should say the limited free version, and yeah. I do miss the full version, but I am trying to see if I could go. Let's see. Well, let's see. All right. Just a minute. I'm going to tell you. And I've pre-ordered this, so the book doesn't come in until sometime late September 23rd. Jayden Daniels, smooth operator. So again, it's Jayden Daniels, smooth operator. If you want to support Rick Snyder's family, go on Amazon and pre-order Jayden Daniels, smooth operator. I pre-ordered this. It should be coming in September 23rd. So I'm psyched about being able to read that book as well. As far as books, where is it? It's in this room somewhere. I also have the book from Joe Theismann, and maybe I can go and put that in the link of this live stream later on. But I also have a really cool book from Joe Theismann. I'm always want to support any of these guys who are, either beat reporters of Washington or former players, especially when they can kind of give you some insights and some of the, behind the scenes stuff that you don't always get to see. And so that's something that I really want to be able to, support. So if you want to support them as well, go to Amazon. Again, it's Jayden Daniels, Smooth Operator. And then if you want this book right here, is 100 Things Commanders fans or Redskins fans, if you find the original version, go for that one as well, should know and do before they die. So Rick Snyder, rest in peace, my man. We are definitely going to miss you. It was so sad to hear. Again, I enjoyed listening to him. I enjoyed reading his articles. A lot of stuff that he thought of with the team, I kind of always saw eye to eye with him as well. And I imagine that it would have been a really cool stream to have been able to have collaborated with Rick. Like I said, just unfortunately, it just didn't seem to work out. And so, I pray for his family, his wife, and I'm not sure if he had kids or not, but I just overall just pray for his family and his passing. I know that he will be missed. So moving on, today was a big day for the Washington Commanders. It wasn't just the fact that they were trying out another wide receiver, but it was the fact that the new Super Bowl alternate jerseys went on sale from the Fanatics shop. Again, I wish that my screen share was actually working the way it should. I'm in Firefox, and so it probably works better in Google, but the reason why that I'm in Firefox is that my camera and my mic seems to work better in Firefox, and so I go back and forth on some of this technology, but at any rate, the new jerseys went on sale, the white Super Bowl jerseys, and I am so proud to say I'm getting one. My wife is giving me an early anniversary present, and she's given me the Jayden Daniels number 5 Super Bowl jersey. I cannot wait to sport that thing, man. Oh, those jerseys look so clean. I just love that look. I've always loved that look. Even during the times when the team was not playing so well, they were still the Redskins, and they were wearing the white jerseys with the burgundy pants. I still looked at that look and I was like, that's such a great look. I know they had updated the font. Of course, you have the cut from Nike. That was, a little bit different from the starter stuff back in the day. And, of course, the Reebok stuff. I think when Reebok came around is when the teams started putting their names on the front. but before then, you didn't have the names on the front of the jerseys. And honestly, I think that's such a better look. I actually like not having the names on the jerseys. And I like the font on the back. The font reminds me of yesteryear with the Washington Redskins winning Super Bowls, having Mark Rippon or Doug Williams' name on that back, and Joe Theismann. It's like it just brings back such great memories. And I'm really hoping, number one, I'm hoping that they win in those jerseys this year when they sport them 3 times this year. 3 times. So 3 times we've got to hope that they're able to win this year. But if they can, then that's going to be awesome because we are going to have I think we're going to have them for the long run. I think if it gives you kind of good vibes and they're able to win those games wearing those, because one of those games is going to be kind of what you consider a classic game. It's going to be the Commanders wearing the Super Bowl uniforms against the Philadelphia Eagles wearing their, was it winter green, their old green, which honestly I'm not a Bulls fan, of course, but I like that look much better than their modern look. But that's going to be certainly awesome to see when those two teams take the field against each other later on in the season. So I'm psyched about getting that jersey. Yes, it's pricey, it's expensive, but I love jerseys. I've collected quite a few of them now. Either a lot of them are ones that my wife has given to me either for Christmas or anniversaries. And honestly, even a couple of them I have, like the Clinton Portis ones, were both presents from various family members and friends back almost 20 years ago, and I still have those. I still wear those, and so I sport Clinton Portis. Of course, I still have the RG3 jersey as well. And yeah, most of the jerseys I have are the burgundy jerseys, but I do have a Joe Theismann number 7 white jersey that I like to wear. And then, of course, I'm going to have the Jayden Daniels. I love these things. At some point, I'll probably wind up taking some of them and just kind of put them in the frame because I love seeing jerseys framed and framed up on the wall. And so I may start doing that with some of the ones where I don't really wear a lot. But yeah, I'm psyched about getting one of those Super Bowl alternate uniforms or jerseys, not jerseys. So yeah, I mean, come on, folks. If you really want to support the team, get one of those jerseys. I don't know how long they're going to be on sale until they completely sell out, especially the Jayden Daniels, because we all know he's on the quarterback's jersey, and so his is probably going to wind up selling out before anybody else's. That's just how it is. But also, I did see Doug Williams' jersey on the Fernandez side, and that's pretty awesome too. I looked at that and I was like, no, I wouldn't mind having that one. I don't have a Doug Williams jersey. I would like to have a Doug Williams. I'd like to have a Mark Rippon. And then I'd have all of the Super Bowl winning quarterbacks jerseys. Hopefully I can add Jayden Daniels to the list of Super Bowl winners. That would be great. But we'll see. So yeah, I'm psyched about that. And I've seen people kind of coming in. So I'm hearing that the audio is bad. I hate that. Okay. Let me know. I'm going to see if I can adjust the audio. That might be the reason why people are bouncing in and out. Let's do. How about that? Does that help any? If not, then we will try audio from another source. Just let me know if you can. I tell you, it's so hard trying to get these live streams right. It's funny because the same audio setup I have that I'm doing this on is the same audio setup that I do my videos on, except I do my videos through. Okay, thank you, thank you. I do my videos through um, OBS, and so yeah. So when I'm doing mine through OBS, everything's excellent. Thank you, custom painting. Um, oh, I don't know. I don't know. I feel like I also need to have testing on this probably. I think sometimes too when it was me and Brandon could let me know if the audio was bad on his end, so we'd get all of this worked out before we actually go live. So I appreciate it. Hopefully, so ATA Custom Painting, thank you for helping me out. Hopefully, if it's sounding good for him, then it's sounding good for anybody else who pops in. I've had some people who would pop in and pop out, and I was like, why are they popping out? Am I being that boring? Probably, but so good. So since the audio was so bad before, I'm just going to kind of go back through a little bit. And it was just honestly what I was talking about earlier. I was talking about Rick Snyder. And I was talking about how I really enjoyed watching his videos, reading his editorials, things like that. And I know that guys like John Keim and others who knew him really well had great things to say about him. I was going to have him on the podcast way back when. I was trying to have him on, honestly, several months ago. But even back when Brandon was still pretty active on the channel, but I just, I don't know what it was. I started getting sick. I had so much going on at work, so much going on with the family that I just couldn't really, just the thought of having to schedule a time to collaborate with somebody else was very difficult for me to do. And so because of that, I just kind of put off trying to have him on the channel, but he was very receptive from what I remember that he was willing to come on the channel. And so unfortunately he passed away. And I really hate that. But I was supporting his book. So this is one of the books that he has. He's got, of course, the Redskins one. I bought this one because it was a revised version, not because that I wanted to support the Commander's name. Just because this was revised, and I figure it might have like some new stuff in it. But you could probably still find this. I'm assuming maybe it's on Amazon. I ordered this straight from his site. So honestly, it's been so long ago, I don't remember the exact site. Maybe you can Google it and find it. But yeah, I ordered it straight from his site, and did he? He did. He signed this HTTC Rick Snyder. So it was pretty cool that he signed this one for me. Well, I mean, he signed them all that he was selling, but yeah, I just I really really enjoyed reading this. He's got a lot of really cool stories in this, and of course, you don't have to read it like all the way through like a fiction book or anything like that. You can kind of jump around to different stories. It's like sitting around a campfire and listening to different stories, and so I just really really have enjoyed reading that. And of course, I was also talking about the new book that is coming out September 23rd. I've pre-ordered that book as well. Jayden Daniels, Smooth Operator. That one you can definitely catch that one on Amazon. And so, any of those people who would like to support Rick Snyder's family, go and buy the book. I think they would really appreciate that. It shows the love that all of us had for Rick Snyder, but also shows love toward his family as they're going through this very you know hard moment, with all the grief and the loss, and so I know all of us at some point or another has went through grief and loss of family members, and so it's never easy. It's very difficult, and so you want to support them, go and buy some of these books. The other thing, of course, we were talking about before I realized the audio was bad was the throwback uniforms, or the throwback jerseys that came on sale today. Those jerseys can be found on the Fanatics website. They're about, for adults, $129.99 for all of the throwback white Super Bowl jerseys. But I'm telling you, my wife ordered me one. It's an early wedding anniversary present. Love her for doing that. I'm just excited. I can't wait to get my jersey. I don't know how long it's going to take, but I'm psyched. I'm going to be sporting that thing as much as I possibly can. I have a white Joe Theismann jersey that I really like to wear as well, and so that was probably as close as I could get to a Super Bowl jersey. And then the rest of my jerseys are the Washington Redskins, Washington football team, burgundy jerseys. I haven't really purchased any of the Commanders jerseys. It's not for the reason that some people have not. I just haven't. I did. Well, I'll take that back. I did purchase one of the, even though I don't like the black uniforms. I did. No, no, no. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. I started to say that I purchased the black uh, Terry McLaurin jersey for my wife, but actually didn't. I wound up purchasing the burgundy one. She wanted the black one, and I purchased the burgundy one. So yeah, I stay true to my colors, right? I don't like the black uniforms. I've said that so many times on this channel, but I don't. I don't think that it is. I don't think it's anything that has anything to do with the team. So that's just my opinion. Um, you know what they say about opinions, but anyway, so I'm just excited to see them back into the Super Bowl uniforms. I hope they win all three, and I really honestly think that if they do, even if they don't, but if they do, you're probably likely going to see those being the standard uniforms next year. I think John Keim a while back had already kind of mentioned that it's likely that they'll probably make them permanent as soon as 2026. So it kind of sounds like it is something that's coming pretty soon for the Commanders, and it will probably be something that you'll see, um, coming up. Yeah, I mean, as early as 26. If not 26, it's going to be 27. But I feel like they will be the permanent jerseys, uniforms. I think they should. I think if you really want to capture good juju and you really want to capture that Super Bowl spirit, I think they got to look the part. Now, you're going to have some fans they're always eager about leaving everything in the past and making everything. They want to create their own legacy. Everything has to be new from this point forward, and we can't go back. We can't have anything of the past except to claim the Super Bowls that Washington had won back in the 80s and early 90s. Other than that, we should not have anything to do with any of that stuff back then. I mean, you get fans that are like that, right? And so because of that, you have a lot of them who love the new uniforms. They love the burgundy ones, and the burgundies I don't love them, but they're not bad. They're okay. Um, I like them much better than the cardinal white. jerseys, and it's so funny. It was so funny watching some of the, you know, uh, greatest Washington fans, the most popular Washington fans, just flat out defending those white jerseys. And I feel like at least 85, 90% of Washington fans are like, there's no way that any of us like those jerseys. Like, who, I mean, it's got like a black, looks like a black stripe on the side, and honestly, on television, it looks like that it's silver almost looking on the side. Does not look like anything that you would see a Washington Redskins team or a Washington Commanders team wear. And we just, most people hate that jersey. They just hate it. And so, if at least the alternate white uniforms wind up replacing their current white uniforms, that's great. Now, for those who love the black uniforms, which I am not a fan of, that might be a positive thing for you. Why do I say that? Well, because if the white Super Bowl uniforms become the permanent uniforms, then you're likely that Washington would keep the black uniforms around. I feel like if the Super Bowl alts wind up, basically just being an alternate uniform and nothing more, I think eventually the black uniforms go away completely. That's my opinion, because it doesn't really make sense to have, so many different alternate uniforms. Now, I think I do want to say, like, the Detroit Lions, for instance, seemed like they had multiple different uh, alternate uniforms, but I don't know. I feel like that the black uniforms are out, because I just don't think that a lot of people like them now. Of course, it did look pretty cool when they beat the Chicago Bears wearing those uniforms, with a Hail Mary, and they'll be wearing those against the Chicago Bears again this year. But yeah, I mean, I don't like them. And a lot of you guys who watch a lot of my videos realize that I am not a fan of, and I love wearing black. I'm someone who always, if you go and you look at my closet right now, I would say 50% of my shirts are black. That's just what it is. I just really like like wearing black. I just don't like them on my team, because I grew up watching and rooting for the burgundy and yellow gold. And so it doesn't look like my team when they're wearing black. I just, some people just love change for the sake of change. I'm not that type of person. And some people will say, okay, well, that means you're an old fuddy duddy. No, it just means I like what I like. And sometimes you don't have to change things, right? You don't have to decide that, we need to completely change our team colors. For what reason? Well, because we want to start a new legacy. Well, start a new legacy with a new expansion team. There's no bad legacy that this team has had, minus the 20 plus years with Dan Snyder here. But there were some good things that happened during his legacy, not because of him, but just during that time. So it's not all bad. But for the most part, I think all of us became fans of this team. Okay, some people, I would say maybe a majority, maybe not some, maybe more of the majority of fans who interact on social media are fans because they grew up in the DMV area. I did not. I grew up in the Southern Virginia area, and the Redskins were on the TV every Sunday. And so I became a fan of football at a very early age, and I became a fan of the Redskins at a very early age, and I just absolutely loved watching them play. I loved watching Joe Theismann, John Riggins, and Art Monk, and so I just, I gravitated toward this team, and so all through the years, honestly, it's funny when they started wearing more of the burgundy, which seemed to be more into the 2000s. I was like, why are they wearing the burgundy jerseys so much? People loved it. I was kind of like, I don't know. Maybe I am an old stick in the mud, but I preferred what I was used to seeing, which was the white jerseys more than not, the burgundy pants, and then you know Joe Gibbs' second era, they actually broke out like all whites, which was the first time ever. That seemed to work for them. All burgundies at one point. And I was like, okay, I can kind of get on this, I guess. When they went with the burgundy tops and the gold pants, some people just was like they loved it. It's probably fans. It was two types of fans actually. It was the fans who grew up in the 60s and 70s who loved that look, and it was fans who were younger who just wanted to see them wear something different, loved it. And I really didn't love it. I didn't like those burgundy, or I should say those yellow pants. Didn't really like them. And when they slowly started incorporating back into wearing the white jerseys a little bit more and the burgundy pants, I felt more comfortable with that. But that's just who I am. But I grew up watching them in the 80s when Super Bowls and, be in the playoffs more than not. And so it was probably 80% of the time that they wore white jerseys and burgundy pants. It seemed like I can only count maybe on like one hand the number of times that it was different. But we've talked so much about jerseys and stuff. Let's actually talk a little bit of football. Again, I hate the fact that I've talked about Rick Snyder. I've talked about the jerseys to no end. Football. Okay. So today, the Washington Commanders worked out 4 players, including, of course, we have all been talking about hearing news about wide receiver Kendrick Bourne, who came and paid a visit to Washington today. He is supposed to be one of the sought after wide receivers who, of course, is a free agent, and he's been kind of on his tour trying to decide if he can get on and sign on with the team. And of course, he hasn't practiced since August the 1st. It seemed like there was something that was said about his ankle had gotten rolled up on. But anyway, he was listed as a workout player for San Francisco Monday. Also worked out today was guard Darian Delcourt, signed to the practice squad, and center Jimmy Morrissey and guard Addison West. And so it was more than just Kendrick Bourne today. It was 3 other guys. So 4 guys. One of the guys actually did get signed to the practice squad. We're still waiting to hear if Kendrick Bourne will make the team. Now, from what Keim has said, if Bourne is signed, it means another player is getting cut. Now, I know what some people are going to say right off the bat. Oh, maybe it's going to be Luke McCaffrey. It's not going to be Luke McCaffrey. He's not getting cut. I can tell you that now. I don't, Ja'Cory Brooks, I don't think is getting cut. So it doesn't have to be a wide receiver that gets cut. It could be somebody else that they had held over on the practice squad. Yes, technically it could be Sam Hartman. He's not getting cut. So who is getting cut if Kendrick Bourne is picked? Well, we will find out, won't we? But it's always good that the Commanders continue to try to pick up good quality, depth, and some talent for this team, certainly. So I am really really hoping that, if this is meant to be, that um, we'll have a good wide receiving core that continues to get stronger based on some of the guys that Adam Peters and company are going out and finding. But I honestly don't know a lot about Kendrick Bourne. I haven't really watched him play much. So, those who like to spend a lot of time and invest a lot of time into watching some of these other guys play, yeah, I mean, um, we'll see what happens. But watching, reading on social media, people are talking about, and then this dude he's going to tear it up and everything. He might, I don't know, but I mean, if he was going to be that good, then why wasn't he signed already? So I don't know. We'll see, but for right now, looking at the depth chart, and again, I apologize, but for some reason my browser is not letting me share the other monitor here. So I'm just gonna have to read this, but this is from John Keim as well. The offense and some very interesting things with the depth chart. Of course, Terry McLaurin is actually being backed up by Luke McCaffrey. Laramie Tunsil, backed up by George Font. Brandon Coleman, backed up by Chris Paul. Our center, Tyler, is being backed up by Nick Allegretti. And of course, Nick Allegretti is the right guard. It says either Nick Allegretti or Andrew Wiley. Just kind of depends on which one's going to have the better time there. They may even rotate in and out. I usually don't like that for offensive linemen because I think it's very important that offensive linemen kind of gel together. But then you have Josh Connerly Jr. getting the start at right tackle. That's some pretty big news. So, and he's taken over that spot from Andrew Wiley, and so Andrew Wiley will get moved inside possibly if Nick Allegretti gets hurt. And then, of course, Trent Scott is backing up Josh Connerly Jr. The tight ends, Zach Ertz, we all know he's the number one tight end. John Bates after that, no surprises there. Ben Sinnott or Sennett. Colson Yankoff is sorry. Dying. Colson Yankoff is the fourth tight end. And then you get to the other side of the wide receivers. Noah Brown is again being backed up by Luke McCaffrey. Now, Deebo Samuel, who I guess we can kind of consider Deebo Samuel is he the second or third wide receiver? I think some people would consider him the second, but he is being backed up by Jalen Lane, which is pretty cool. But yeah, I mean, that's pretty standard. Like, that's nothing as far as the wide receivers. That seems pretty straightforward. I don't see any surprises there. What I do see I'm shocked at this, honestly. And I want to know, what happened? Did something happen with Bill Merritt after that second preseason game? Because he is listed as the fourth running back on the depth chart. And Austin Eckler is considered RB1. Now, I may have talked about this before, thinking, who knows, maybe Austin Eckler will be RB1 and Chris Rodriguez would be 2. Well, Chris Rodriguez is number 3 on the depth chart. So I'm very surprised at this because I really didn't think it was going to be like this. I was assuming that the depth chart would honestly be Chris Rodriguez or Bill Merritt trying to battle for that number 1 position running back, and then you would have Austin Eckler as at least a clear, solid number 2. And then number 3, of course, would be Jeremy McNichols. But It's not like that. You have Austin Eckler as RB1, Jeremy McNichols 2, Chris Rodriguez 3. And again, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt is number 4. And so that's interesting. Why is this? Is it the fact that Bill Merritt, maybe he isn't practicing well? Is it, we're not just going to hand you the keys to the kingdom just because you had a couple of really good runs in preseason. You're going to have to really bite the bullet and do what you need to do. So yeah, they're going to make him work for it, and so they're putting that RB4. So I'm very shocked, which basically means, and I mentioned this before, that there was a rumor going that Bill Merritt wouldn't be dressing out against the Giants. It looks like that rumor is turning out to be true. They're not going to dress out for running backs. I don't believe they will. So I think normally Washington has 3 running backs that they like to dress out. So that's going to be Austin Eckler, Jeremy McNichols, and Chris Rodriguez Jr. So those guys. So Ja'Cory is kind of the odd man out, right? As far as the rest here, punt returner. Now, Jalen Lane is the punt returner. I think we all kind of thought that he could probably make his point on the squad, his position on the squad as a punt returner, and that's exactly what's happening. So Jalen Lane is listed as the first string punt returner. Luke McCaffrey, of course, is backing up Jalen Lane. He's also backing up Deebo Samuel, who is listed as the kick returner, basically kickoffs. So if you ever ask what's the difference, well, you do tend to have different people returning. Well, unless you're a Hall of Fame, kickoff, returner like Chicago's the one that they had, and of course us with Brian Mitchell back in the day. You are usually will have some different people. So looks like Deebo Samuel is going to be the main kickoff returner, and then punt returner would be Jalen Lane, and Luke McCaffrey will be backing up either one of those guys. Really, the only other Trey Amos, of course, is listed in front of Jonathan Jones as a starter for cornerback. I think all of that seems pretty good for me. Marshawn Lattimore, Trey Amos, Mike Sandstrill. I think that is a solid cornerback group right there. And then, of course, the safeties. You got Will Harris starting. No issues with that. Free safety, you got Quan Martin. Again, I think Quan is going to have a breakout season this year. Backing up the safeties, Percy Butler and Jeremy Reeves. You'll see Jeremy Reeves getting there and play a lot more. And you may even see Tyler Owens getting there and play more. Maybe if there's like some dime packages and things like that. But really, nothing here that really stood out to me. James. Oh, James, I love you, buddy. I do. I hope you know that. I love you, man. But yeah, so I mean, what do you guys think? Did y'all see any of the depth chart? I mean, what do you think? I mean, do you think the depth chart is right what you thought? Again, the running back position, that really surprised me. I really didn't think that Bill Merritt was not going to be dressing out, basically. So I want to find out what that story is. And yes, James, hell to the Redskins, HTTR, my man. I love it. So yeah, that I'm just very surprised at that. Of course, linebacker crew, Kane Madrino. Yeah, man. You know, I can't even find my Washington Commanders hat, and I'm not really upset about that. That's a funny thing. I want to start collecting more of these. Of course, I don't know if you guys can see in the background. You see the Joe Gibbs hat and another Redskins hat back there. I love the Joe Gibbs hat. Love it so much. Yeah, the linebackers, not really a big surprise. They're really high on Jordan McGee. Of course, Bobby Wagner and Frankie Louvu, those guys are going to be the starters, and so I really think this is a pretty solid depth chart for the Commanders rolling into Week 1. I think this is honestly, if you need somebody who is going to give you the best foot forward, I think this is the best that they can do. And I really think that you're going to see something great with that. So what else did I bookmark on this great thing called social media? We talked at nauseum about the jerseys. James, did you buy your jersey yet? Your James is, I know he's one of those, buddy, it's Redskins or nothing, and I love that. I love it. I know I try to stay even. I'm trying not to cause controversy or anything like that, but if they went back to all this tomorrow, man, that would make my day. That would awesomely make my day. Yeah, I mean, uh, we were talking a little bit earlier about the jerseys. I do think the Jayden Daniels one will wind up being probably the number one selling jersey. We'll see. But I could easily see that. So one thing they did mention, Jayden is going to be wearing the gold NFL logo on his jersey this year. And it's basically the gold shield is to recognize the award winners from the previous season. Of course, he was the offensive rookie of the year this past year. And so that's pretty cool. I like that. I don't think that you'll see like a gold emblem on any of these throwback jerseys that we are buying, but I mean, who knows? But anyway, yeah, folks. Overall, I'm excited about this year. I mean, who's not? For the first time, I think in a while, even after we had won the division a few years ago. I'm not talking about 2020, honestly. I'm probably going back to maybe the last time that we won the division with Kirk Cousins. When we actually won it with a decent record. I think it was a 10-6. I don't know if I had as much the sound. What the heck? Yeah, the sound has been weird, James. The sound has been really weird, and I don't know why. I'll go back and try to watch the stream, but this mic, I use this mic in all of my videos, but I use it with a different audio setup than what I'm using tonight for streaming. So I'll have to work that out. We'll have to work out the kinks. I guess I'm still in preseason. So that's part of the reason why I'm not getting a lot of people watching the stream. So apologize for that. Really trying to work on it. But it's been choppy. It's just not been good. I've tried to fix it. And yeah, it just hasn't really seemed like it's been working so good. I tell you what, folks, if you can, I'm going to switch the mic here if I can. Hold on a second. And you guys let me know if this works any better. Let's see. Now, does this work any better? Let me know if this mic is working better than the other mic. This is my laptop's mic, so it's not going to sound very professional, but maybe if it at least sounds better than what the other mic does. This mic, my Shure mic, sounds awesome when I'm recording, but I can also mess with the recording in post and get it, sounding better. So, but anyway, hopefully, let me know. Can you like pop up and let me know in the comments real quick? The switching to the audio on the laptop, does that help any? Probably what I'll do the next time is I'll just use my earbuds when we do the live, and that always seems to work no matter what. So both mics sound fine. Okay, thank you, ATA Custom Painting. I appreciate it. I don't know. I think I'm still in preseason, like I said, so I'm still trying to work this out. And folks, again, the reason why I decided to do a live stream tonight was basically I didn't have time to really finish doing a really good video for you guys. Number one, I had been sick. My son and I got sick Wednesday, and Wednesday of last week, we both just went to bed. I started shivering. I was, so I obviously had a fever, and then when I got up Friday, both me and my son were like, "No, we can't go today." And so my wife, who had not been driving because of her accident, she's injured right now. She did drive herself to work. She took like the extreme long way around. I'm not going to go through the whole accident, but continue to pray for her. But yeah, so both of us were sick Thursday and Friday. Started feeling okay Friday, and then Saturday, started feeling sick again Saturday night. Excuse me, which is the reason why I'm coughing. And then Saturday night, started getting all the gunk and stuff, and sore throat. Sunday, felt awful. Made it to church, but felt awful all day Sunday, and went to bed Sunday night. Got up Monday. Couldn't really do a whole lot for Labor Day, and I felt a little bit better by that point. But yeah, I don't know what it is. Stuff's been going around. So because of that, I just didn't feel good. I probably, if I could have at least gotten some video shot, I probably could have put together a good video for tonight. But I decided, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and do a live stream. And, that will help me to, number one, work out the kinks. And you guys, thank you for helping me to work out the kinks. And I think, too, just kind of getting back into the groove of talking on live streams. It's very easy to do, recorded videos because you can do edits and kind of get it to, sound the way you want and things like that. When you're doing live, it's warts and all. And hopefully, as we go through the season and we do more live streams, we'll pick up some more folks on here. And then we will also hopefully get some more comments and questions and stuff like that. And that's kind of how live streams really start to take off and be interesting, is when we start to get the fans involved and asking questions and stuff like that. So that's what I'm looking forward to. So this is kind of just the rough start, but we're going to get through it, and I will figure out the streaming stuff as I go along. But yeah, overall, I'm excited for this season. I do have a really good feeling about this season. I really feel like we are going to have just as good of a season this year as we did last year, if not better. I think this team is stronger this year, and I think we are going to be better this year. And I know that's such a homer thing to say, but even like Warhawk Rambo, I'm predicting that the first game will be a decisive victory. I agree. I mean, the Giants are not going to be a pushover team. The Giants have a stout defense. It's going to be interesting to see how Josh Connerly Jr. fares against that defensive front. The defensive front's no joke. Really isn't no joke. But I think that this team is going to fare pretty well in this upcoming season. They're going to have some tough games to play. So it's not going to be a cakewalk. But you know what? Anybody, anywhere, anytime, you got to be able to you just got to be able to get out there and, beat these playoff teams. But, and that's how you really prove yourself. You're not going to be a Super Bowl champion by having an easy schedule and going out and beating teams you should beat. It's about beating the teams that people don't think that you're good enough to beat. And then it's going out and it's not just beating those teams, but it's beating them, maybe not, routing them or anything like that, but it's beating them decisively enough to where, it didn't come down to a play or official decision that could have went either way. It really comes down to your team was just the better team on the field. And so I want to see what happens with that. I really do think that this team is built to get back to the NFC Championship game. Now, I think if they can get back there, they're going to the Super Bowl. I really do. Just really quickly, I had a private message from one of my best buds, John Maloney. He says, Greg, call me crazy. I think Bill should be running back one. I think a lot of people think that Bill Merritt should be running back one. Is he injured? Maybe he's injured. I don't know. I would like to find out, but no one's really saying anything. I think some of the beat reporters are just as confused by all of that as what we are. And so it'd be interesting to see what happens in the next coming weeks. I still think by mid-season, Bill's probably going to be running back one, or he's going to get heavy rotation. I just think that that's probably what's going to happen. And but I'll admit I'm confused by all that as well. It is, I just don't understand what's going on with all of that. Folks, it's 3 minutes after. Been on here for a little over an hour. You've already heard me kind of cough up a lung a couple of times. And so I think that we will probably kind of start ending the stream at this point. But I just want to keep in mind, before you leave, just a few things. Number one, we're going to be releasing videos every Tuesday and every Friday at 7 p.m. Okay. This won't be necessarily the norm of doing live videos on Tuesdays, but it also depends on the schedule. So if the Commanders, let's say they play on Monday night, we'll do a live stream on Tuesday. Because honestly, I have a day job and I can't stay up till like past midnight doing a stream or anything like that. So we'll probably wind up doing a live stream the following night. If they play on Thursday night, I'll try to do a live stream prior to the game. Probably won't be this long. It'll be more 30 minutes of a live stream. And then, of course, after games on Sunday, I'll try to do a live stream at that point. So hopefully between now and next Sunday, I'll have this streaming stuff kind of worked out. I think I already kind of know what to do to kind of help with some of this stuff. We'll do that So basically, again, the schedule will be Tuesday nights, video released, uploaded 7 p.m. So just mark your calendars, know that the Maniacs will be coming out with videos every Tuesday, every Friday at 7 p.m. We'll try to live stream after the game on Sunday. Can't tell you exactly at what time because it depends on when the game is over, but it'll try to be following the game as best I can. Keep in mind, I do have a family, so family comes first. And if something happens where I can't live stream right away, I will live stream at some point before that Sunday night's over. But I will try my best to live stream after the game. Now, if they play later games, then what I may do is just do kind of a pre-game thing and stream right before the game. And then, of course, we'll follow up with videos on Tuesday to kind of wrap things up. So that's kind of be how the schedule is going to be. Let me know in the comments. Even after this, let me know what you think in terms of the new schedule. Does that work for you? I'm just trying to be as consistent as possible with the channel so that you know when videos are released. You're not just guessing, because sometimes in the past I've just released the videos at any time. I try to release them around the same time, but I've released videos anywhere from 2 o'clock in the afternoon to 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So I've released them all spectrums of the time, and I've even released them in the mornings at 8, 9, or 10. And I don't, that certainly with the algorithm, it doesn't like that because it wants to know that your stuff's being released at the same time every time that you put a video out. So I'm going to try my best to make sure that your content that you watch from here is going to be released when it needs to be released at the same time, so you know what to expect. So before I go, I just want to say thank you guys for supporting this channel. I'll let me know too, like, what do you expect from this channel? What do you want to see? Because I'm all about wanting to improve this channel. What do you want to see? Do you want to see more guests on here? Do you want to see more collaborations? Do you want to see shorter videos? I have no problem with doing that. What type of format? I mean, just let me know what was the reason why that you came to the Maniacs and that you subscribed. Let me know that. What brings you back to the channel? What makes you disappointed when you come to the channel and you didn't get what you've gotten in the past? Be gentle, don't be mean about it, but also be upfront about it and let me know, because I really do want to try to make this channel successful. And the only way to really make the channel successful is to get some good, honest feedback from those who watch it, and so that we can try to bring you guys exactly what you're tuning in for. Because, I mean, yes, there are some excellent podcasts out there that are very popular, that no matter what, they get, tens of thousands of views, or at least several thousand views every time they put something out. And, so they're just, you depend on them, that they're going to give you the goods and all this stuff. And I get that. And also get the fact that the Washington football podcast world is getting extremely crowded. I think now, because they're becoming so good, you're going to see more and more people wanting to throw their hat into the podcasting ring, and they're going to want to start doing their podcast. I started mine back in 2020, I believe it was, at the end of 2020. So I've been doing this for 5 years. And so it's been tough. It's a tough thing to do. It's not easy to do. I am not a public speaker, and I'm not the most eloquent speaker. I mean, obviously, you can tell I'm I fumble over words all the time. I don't say the right things, can't always pronounce the players' names correctly, and people call you out for it. And, you really expose yourself quite a bit when you are on these podcasts. You really do, because people just, they will tear you apart. You don't give them the same opinion they have, they'll tear you apart. You know, if you don't wear the right stuff, they'll tear you apart. It's like um, they just it is not a very forgiving thing to do. This is a side hustle, and I don't make hardly any money doing this. This is more of a hobby for me. Um, I would love to be able to make money doing this. This would be great, but I don't. But besides that, it's a very hard thing to do, and it does get frustrating sometimes when you have people who, are not going to put themselves out there in front of a camera and talk to people that they don't know for an hour and some change. It's tough. I mean, I can talk to anybody in what I call real life outside of this, and I'm fine. But getting in front of the camera and basically, there's no one there sitting back and talking back to you. It's one thing I did like about having Brandon on here, was that I felt like I can kind of talk back and forth with him, even though a lot of times I felt like we were kind of taking turns. So, I would probably say if we could ever have Brandon back on, or, like a co-host back on, I would probably, have it a little bit more of a conversational thing rather than, um, you know, we'll take turns. You say your thing, I'll say my thing, and then we'll go from there. But I just, this has been some sort of an adventure. It's been ups and downs to doing Maniacs. Um, and I just I'm really trying to keep focused with it because I want it to be successful. But this is my way of being able to show my love for the team, because I can't always make it to games. It's very seldom that I even get to go to games. I just don't have the capacity, the time, and the money invested into it. I know some people, um, that's what they invest, but they don't have children. Um, they're able to travel a lot more. I'm not that person. And so because I can't always make it to games, I would love to make it to more games, but because I can't, then this is my way of showing love to the team. Like, I don't offer much except for I watch every single game that I possibly can, and I love talking about it. And so this is my way of kind of giving back. Right? Does that make sense? So that's the reason why I keep plugging away at this. You have other channels that, like I said, are bringing in tens of thousands of views each time that they go live, or put a recorded video out, and it seems easy to them. They don't really do any magic or anything. They just have the following, and that's great. That's great. And it's been hard for me. I think for one thing, I'm in North Carolina, and so being a Redskins fan in North Carolina, you're separated from a lot of the fans that would tune in to watch you. And then even so, like some of the fans who are maybe more out in the Midwest and all that, they're going to go after the bigger channels, because that's who is being fed to them more than this channel. And as much as I try to plug this channel on social media and stuff like that, I'm not sure if any of those people tune in to see. So it is tough. It is tough, and it's frustrating, but I'm going to keep at it because I love the team and I love doing these podcasts. I love video creation, and so that's why that I keep doing this. TB, what's happened with the Bourne? Is he signed? Don't know. He met with the team today. I think he worked out with the team maybe, but have not heard a word about if he has signed or not. So I don't know if that's a good sign or bad sign, but he has not, as of right now, he has not signed. So so there you go. I mean that's just that's how it was. I was really expecting to hear that he had signed with the team. I mean, I'm scouring, uh, the social media right now, and really the biggest storylines is the depth chart. And of course, we were talking about earlier with the running backs. That was really that was something. So. So yeah, I think that's something that a lot of people are really talking about, folks. It's a little quarter. I guess you can say it's a quarter after 8. My son has to go to bed because he has got school in the morning, and I myself need to just sit down and rest. Now, just before we go, TB said they say that the running backs are listed by seniority. That could be true. I totally get that. So who knows? Maybe we will see Bill Merritt dressed out on Monday or Sunday. But I when I looked at it, I thought that was a little like, wow, you know. But I can kind of see that, but I can, at the same time, I also feel like, who has played the best, who deserves a shot. And I think, like, if you really had a tremendous preseason, then you should be given somewhat of a chance in the first part. But yeah, will Malik run rampant? I don't think so. We've got a solid secondary. I mean, have you seen the guys lined up in the safety positions, corner positions? I don't think Malik is going to run rampant at all. Don't see it. I I think that, excuse me, I think that what we are going to see, we're probably going to see a defensive battle again. Kind of similar to what we saw in the first game last year when these two guys played, or these two teams played. So I think that's something that we're going to see. I think we will score touchdowns this time. I would shudder to think that we have to rely on the kicker to score all of the points. But I don't see Malik running rampant. He's going to get his. He's going to have a decent game. He's not going to be shut out. I'd be very surprised. But I don't think that he's going to run rampant at all on this defense. I don't think so. TB again says, what is our run yard target? We used to win every game when we had over 100 yards rushing. That's usually the standard of any team. If you can rush 100 yards, and that's when I mean by 100 yards, I don't mean, yards that are with the quarterbacks running and scrambling. I mean, true running back run yards. Then you're usually going to win the game. Why? Because you're able to have ball control. You're able to keep their offense off the field, and you're able to chew up time on the clock, especially when you're ahead. And so I think whenever, what's the target? Yeah, I would say at least 100 yards. Again, this is, what they call it, the air raid offense, but it's also it's a modified version of it that likes to put an emphasis on the run. So I think still it remains the same. You would like to have 100 yards rushing, and I would agree with that. I wouldn't see this team not trying to run the ball more. I think you're going to see more balance, because anytime that you see a balanced offense, usually you have a team that is playing really good football. When a team is passing the football more, they're usually behind, um, and just you're going to see the quarterback in a lot of trouble, in my personal opinion. Um, so we try to see if we can just run? I'm not sure what that question means. No, we're not going to just run. There's going to be balance. Like I said, you're going to look for a balanced offense. You're going to look for a team that I feel like is going to be run first, but you've got so much talent at the wide receiver position that I don't see how that they don't have a big day. You got an improved offensive line. So let's see how this offensive line, that's really what's going to tell the tale, is how good will this offensive line be able to open up running lanes for the running backs, for Jayden Daniels. If they are being very successful running the football and open up running lanes, why would you go away from that? So I see them, though, wanting to be balanced. I don't see a team that's just going to, run the football or, just going to pass. I know that that one great drive that Jayden Daniels was in there, they didn't pass the ball at all. But that was because they only had one drive with Jayden Daniels. What if Bill gets 100 yards? I hope he does. But will he play? Again, we don't know. I know you mentioned, seniority, but he may not play. Maybe Austin Eckler has a big day. McNichols has had some big days in the past. What if Chris Rodriguez takes the game over? Maybe Bill doesn't even see the field. Maybe he does. What if he gets 100 yards? Then he gets 100 yards. That is telling you, if your running backs in this offense with Jayden Daniels and the talent at wide receiver, if the running backs are getting over 100 yards rushing and one running back is, then that means that you are controlling the entire game, because you're not having to pass the ball as much. They're going to start wearing down the defense, and then they're going to hit them over the top. And so I hope that's great. Hey, folks, I'm going to have to go. So I hope you enjoyed this live stream. I know it started off rocky with the audio. That's going to improve. Trust me, it's going to improve with a lot of your help. But thank you for sticking with me and listening to me ramble for almost an hour and a half. Again, if you haven't subscribed, please consider subscribing to the Washington Football Maniacs. I also have a store that I had just gotten together. I'll have it in the description, a link to it if you want to check it out and support this channel. Any way you can would really help. Maybe it'll pay for better technology. That would be great. Folks, I'm going to go. So you guys, thank you for staying here and streaming with me. And be on the lookout Friday evening at 7 o'clock. We'll come to you with another upload. Till then, I'll talk to you in the next one. Take care, everybody.